Assignment 1 of Strategy and Global Competitive Environment. Hello, I'm Dr. Siraladan. Basically, I am a medical doctor with a postgraduate diploma in healthcare quality and patient safety. Currently, I am reading MSc in medical administration. Today, I will be speaking about strategy and global competitive environment, especially on scenario planning. To explain this, I have taken clinical laboratory industry as the area of choice. We will mitigate the future by identifying the drivers and trends by doing scenario planning. At the beginning, I will give an outline to my presentation. I will begin with roadmap for scenario planning, then background of the industry, followed by the segments and the drivers and trends of this industry. From this, I will be explaining the key uncertainties from which I will formulate two-dimensional grid. Then at the end, I will explain four plausible scenarios. At the beginning, I will start with the roadmap of scenario planning in clinical laboratory industry. To do that, I have started with Pesdel analysis to identify the key drivers and the key trends of this industry. Then I have done the Porter's 5 forces strategy by which I identified the key uncertainties. From that, I have formulated a two-dimensional grid with 4 scenarios, which ultimately ended up in scenario planning. First, I will start with background of this industry. From this slide, you can understand the compound annual growth rate in the clinical laboratory industry is projected as 3.9% from year 2020 to 2026. Then the hospital-based laboratory segment compound annual growth rate is 3.6. Also, we have to understand the clinical laboratory industry is a diverse and it's ever changing. So, understanding the key drivers and key trend is a challenge, as on daily basis the market and the scope is evolving. As I told, this industry has a diverse scope due to two main reasons. One is growing complexity of disease pattern, and the second one is the increased health seeking behavior of the population due to the increased health literacy among the population. So ultimately, the demand for this industry is shooting up. Second, I will explain about the segments of this industry. Basically, there are 3 segments. First is hospital based, second independent, third is the physician office laboratory. Hospital based is usually situated in hospital or any medical clinics. Second, independent is conducted by independent firms or companies. The physician conducts in his consultation site is known as physician office laboratories. Then by the nature of the test conducted, the segments are given as follows: hematology, coagulation tests, toxicology tests, serum testing, urine testing, and also the microbiology testings. As the third major area, I will explain about the market drivers of clinical laboratory industry. As we all know, the technology is daily evolving, which give a positive impact on this industry. Second is the rising adoption of medical diagnostics and tests. Third, of course, we all know about the growth of the aging population. Then about the health sector programs on screening population for non-communicable diseases. Ultimately, as I said about, increasing health-seeking behavior of the population also drives in this market. Then about the market trends of this industry. These are some of the trends in this industry. Emergence of corporate wellness programs that is organized by the firms to ensure the wellness of their staff members. Then growing importance of early diagnosis, growing prevalence of chronic diseases, re-emergence of infectious diseases, prevalence of non-communicable diseases. Then the increasing health literacy of the population. Altogether, all these factors are the trends that give the impact on this industry. Then, by doing the Porter's 5 forces analysis, I have identified few key uncertainties. First is the technological advancement versus growth of geriatric population. Second is importance of early diagnosis versus prevalence of non-communicable diseases. Third is health-seeking behavior of population versus adoption of medical diagnostic and test. By brainstorming and understanding the various factors, considering the practicality, I think technological advancement versus growth of geriatric population is the more practical and it's worth elaborating further. So from that, I have formulated two-dimensional grid. In the two axes, the high and low extreme values are given. And on one axis, growth of geriatric population is taken, and on the second axis, technological advancement is considered. So there are 4 situations are formulated by this two-dimensional grid. Also, I have given suitable names for these 4 scenarios as smart elders, professional elders, traditional elders, and confident elders. In each scenarios, the technological advancement and the growth of geriatric population takes the extreme values of high and low. At last, according to the formulated two-dimensional grid, I will be explaining 4 scenarios. Smart elders, professional elders, confident elders, and traditional elders. First is the professional elders, where the technological advancement is high as well as the growth of geriatric population also high. It's about Mr. Janaka Bandara, who is 85 years, a pensioner who lives with his beloved wife, Mrs. Gamya Bandara. She is a retired teacher of 82 years. All this while they were living with their son, who had to leave abroad for his higher studies. So while leaving, the son was concerned about the health status of his parents. So the mother writes a letter to his son stating about their health status. In her letter, she mentions as both of them manage well with the help of advanced technology. Also, she says she has been surrounded by so many elderly people in their neighborhood. And she mentions they are perfectly well by saying her sugar levels and blood pressure of her husband are under control. They are following up at local hospital for their medical clinics. As the dates of the medical clinics are programmed in advance and as it is linked to the Google Calendar, they are not missing the clinics. It's good that local hospital is having all the details about this couple on their database. Also, they are using the mobile labs to order the blood investigation from the hospitals. And another good thing, the hospital send their staff to the doorstep to collect the samples. And they send their reports through email. to the patient as well as to the doctor. Then ultimately the patient consult the doctor online. Also, she mentioned about the advanced technology by point of care testing. So she's happy that she don't need to hurt herself to do the blood investigations. The second scenario is about confident elders, where technological advancement is low as well as the growth of geriatric population also on the low extremes. It's about Mr. Silva, 70 years, who is a retired civil engineer, worked abroad for 30 years, and he's an active person. Only his concern was about diabetes mellitus, but still he continued his physical exercises as a routine. So when he came to his own village, he was shocked to see the number of elderly people living with confidence in his neighborhood. But by the time he understood the elders in the village having harder times, especially for their health needs, he realized that geriatric medical care is not the priority of their state. Also, elders were very poor in their technology knowledge. So ultimately, they had to wait in long queues in their hospitals to do their laboratories. So in this scenario, the geriatric population is high, but they are having a hard time due to the low level of technology in their living area. Third is the traditional elder scenario. In this scenario, I will be elaborating this scenario by the factors as low growth of geriatric population with low technological advancement. It's all about Mrs. Stella, who is 82 years living with her daughter. Other than osteoarthritis, she's perfectly all right. Her husband has passed away when she was 60 years due to some cardiac diseases. Her daughter is a working woman, so Mrs. Stella has to be home alone until they all return home. And also, unfortunately, she couldn't find any companion near to her age. It's because she was the only person above 60s in her apartment. She couldn't move around due to her osteoarthritis problem, and even sometimes she couldn't go to her routine clinics. To do the laboratory investigations, she has to go to the laboratory, which is 10 kilometers far away from her home. Unfortunately, there was no online taxi services or online food delivery system, which had made her life more difficult. So, as a summary, Mrs. Stella had to totally depend on her daughter for all her needs because of the poor technological situation. Then, the scenario is about smart elders where technological advancement is high and the growth of geriatric population is low. This is elaborated by the speech of a senior elder person in a elder's home. A youth club has visited the elders' home where there were 150 elders. So while the elder person addressing the gathering, first of all, he thanked the youth of this country on their productive approach by visiting the elders' home. Also, he mentions geriatric population is decreasing trend due to chronic diseases and non-communicable diseases. As the geriatric population is in small number, the health system has not prioritized the health needs of the elderly people. But he mentioned that they are very grateful to advanced technology that helps in fulfilling their health needs. All these elders who are in the elders home are registered with the health care provider in the closest hospital. So the online database has all their geographic and medication data. And he was very happy that the point of care test has reduced their hazard of pain and discomfort while giving blood for their blood investigation. Also, they receive their blood investigation reports through their mobile apps. As a summary, he stated that they are comfortably living as a smart elders due to advanced technology in medical industry, especially due to the laboratory services. As such, I have explained 4 scenarios that are possible in this industry. So it's the responsibility of the firms to identify all the possible scenarios and mitigate them in the future to maintain their market. Yeah, they have established and they have invested so much of economy. Thank you. Thank you very much.